Welcome to Aussie Afterlife podcast. And just so you know that this episode and this video and all the other episodes and possibly anything I've said ever contains explicit language. So not for younger listeners, unless you're an actual cool parent, or for those without a sense of humour. So I'm going to grab your headphones for the paranormal investigation episodes where you get to listen to some amazing spirit voices that I capture. And added bonus, you also get to listen to my voice super close to your ear. Could be good or bad. Good. Yeah. So buckle up, grab a drink, relax, and enjoy. And welcome to the afterlife. My version anyway. It could be heaven, purgatory. It's probably hell, but what of it? Enjoy. Welcome back to Aussie Afterlife. This is episode 55, and this will be part 2 of my amazing interview with one of my dearest friends, Phoebe, who was probably as I said, my very first friend I'd ever connected with any type of paranormal experiences, anything like that. I've known her since I was much younger and a lot more wild, believe it or not, angel. But yeah, no. So this is my complete Venus. So she's awesome. And yeah, she's also playing a very, very massive part with Aussie Afterlife at the moment too, which I am absolutely loving. It's been great and amazing. So I can't wait to kick it off with part 2. But I was thinking, I haven't really done anything kind of like, funny Samio kind of thing like what I would usually do. Because, we know that 2025 has been, to say the least. So I've been avoiding the most traumatic or, some trauma. We don't want to go into that. Whatever. Apparently it's the year of the snake. So we all just shed our skin and shed all the crap and the bullshit and the bad people that we don't need in our life. But anyway, not even worth the airtime or the energy or the concentration. So next year's a horse. So even though I'm not really a fan of horses, but off we go. We take off. Woo! Melbourne Cup first, Sam Cup. But yeah, yeah, nah. So 2025 has been a bit, but however, a massive year of learning. And there's also been some very amazing, great things that have happened to me also in 2025. There's been a lot of clearing out, as I said, but there's also a lot of opening new doors and bringing a new amazing things in, including some very special people, and very one special person. But yeah, so life is really great. Me, my brother and my kids and his child as well. We went and celebrated my mother's 70th birthday in Sorrento on the weekend, which we did 10 years ago when she turned 60. And it's just hard to believe that it's been 10 years since then. Yeah, and Mum always spoke about, we should do it again. So we kind of surprised her and took her down there. It was hilarious. So we had so much fun. And then we end up last minute going, okay, that's it. We're staying down and booking an Airbnb. And my mum's just like, oh no, I've got no clothes on, whatever. I'm like, you'll be fine. Okay, like literally. So it's all good. We are doing this really funny karaoke. All the kids were like, having to sing, and Dean, my brother, was absolutely losing it. Loved it. It was so good. Just so many songs. But the funny thing, whenever you think that you're not like your parents, or you're like, no, I'm nothing like mum, or I'm nothing like dad. My mum pulled a Samio moment on the morning. So like Monday morning, like we were like, yeah, let's get up. You're going to be out of the Airbnb by 10 a.m. So I like slept in because I'm like, I'm not fucking up until I have to. I've paid till 10. I'm staying till 10. So Mum obviously went with one of her grandkids, so my little nephew, and they're like, look, Mum's like, bin is chockers at the front and it's bin day. We can't fit the rubbish in there, so we'll go to the neighbours. We'll see if we can find a bin. Anyway, lo and behold, they found a bin, put the rubbish in the bin. So it's probably about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. So right as we're like waiting for the Uber to come pick us up from this place we stayed in, which was amazing. It was really cool. It was probably like 10 past 10, something like that. And all of a sudden I see this dude like aggressively like walking towards the house. And I'm like, oh, he looks like he's a bit mad or a bit like on a mission. And I was like, God, he's walking really quick. I'm like, is he like the owner of the house? Like, is he coming to just get us out? And I'm like, oh, it's okay, we're just waiting on the Uber. Like, it's only 10 past 10. Like, chill. And he's like, did any of you guys put trash in my bin? And we're just like, I was like, pardon? So I like waltzed out and I was like, sorry. He's like, did you put trash in my bin? And I'm just like, no. And I'm like, fucking ran off. Dean goes out. He's like, what? What's going on? So said the same thing. And the mum's like, hang on, no. Mum doesn't sound like that, but she's like, I need to differentiate between the characters. Mum's like, hang on, no, that was me. She's like, I did it. He walks out. This dude was so mad. He's like, there are crows in my bin putting rubbish everywhere. And Mum's just like, oh my God. So like, they've gone out to the thing. I'm pissing myself laughing in the bedroom. Just like, I'm like, he was so aggressive. Like, I've never seen anyone walk with so much, like, we're getting there. Like, I know it was them, but this is it. Airbnb on the block. It's them. And then my mum that just turned 70 walks out. Yeah, that was me. Anyway, so we all go out the front waiting for the Uber. And apparently it turned out there was like 2 pieces of paper on the road. And so Mum's like, we fixed it within like 2 seconds. I'm like, oh, that's good. I'm like, fair enough. He's probably sick of it. It happens a lot, trying to be a bit more understanding. And then I look over at the neighbour's bin, the one that was losing his mind. And the bin was like almost overflowing. And I look at our bin from the Airbnb that was apparently chockers. And the lid was like perfectly shut. And I'm like, Mum, what? She's like, yeah, it was chockers. I'm like, it doesn't look as chockers as the one. She's like, yeah, I probably could have fit a bag in it. I reckon I laughed for about an hour because I continued picturing this neighbour's bin that was like overflowing. And I was like, oh no, our bin was chockers. And the lid was like perfectly shut. And she's like, and then my nephew was like, why did you job yourself in? And then Mason's like, why did you get caught? I'm like, oh my God, stop. Okay. But it was so funny. I reckon I spent about the next hour just like looking at that bin, or not even, just having that memory of that bin. Just, it wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't like we were littering or anything like that. It was just like you could see like the bin bag at the top, and like ours was completely closed. And I'm like, we couldn't make our bin look like that. It had to be the next one. But it was funny. So nice to know, even when you get to 70, still, accidentally ruffle up some shit, apparently. Anywho, another funny thing that happened to me this week too, which, by the way, I'm not criticizing this woman at all because she is a fucking magician, right? Okay. Hence why I'm brunette now, is because my hair was fried from another dickhead hairdresser. Not the other one I used to see for 10 years, Michelle. She's amazing. There was one I had to do like in between. I did a couple, and then all of a sudden I'm like, why is my hair snapping off? This is shit. So I found a new one. And this woman is like literally a magician. I swear to God, it was great. So I've gone brunette. My hair's in so much better condition. It's all great. So I said to her, I was like, oh no, just take like a little bit of, just take a bit of the length off the fringe and the rest of it. Anywho, because I don't have my hair straightened very much because I don't like it because it's like too flat. I look like basically. Anyway, so she's done it and she's cut it, and I'm just like looking at it. I'm like, that's really short. And she's like, is there anything else you want me to do? And I'm like, no. And I'm like, I look like Lord Farquaad from Shrek. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, look, I need to get out of here. I'm like, how, in what? But then I remembered, she's like, she's like, can I just do what I want to do? And I'm like, yeah, do what you want to do. I trust you, rah. Anyway, I look at myself and I'm like, I'm in the car, I'm like trying to pull the fringe back, and I'm just like looking, it was like all poofed out everywhere, and I'm just like, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to wear a hat. Like, I literally have to wear a hat. So then, thank God I got this Aussie Afterlife hat, so I was like wearing this, and I'm just like, oh yeah, like, and I'm just like, I'm like, I can't wear that to work. And then it literally was like in the car, just like, what does everyone hate? I was just like, I just wanted a nice haircut. And then I'm just like, I look like Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber. And I'm just like, oh, shrimp on the barbie. And I'm just like, all right. So anyway, so I had a bit of a carry on for the next couple of hours. Like, it's going to be fine. Your hair grows real quick. She knows what she's doing. She's the best hairdresser. Okay. She's great. Anywho, she is, by the way, because I actually really kind of dig it. You can see it's shorter, right? But anyway, I'm like, I was being real dramatic, and I'm like, that's it. Oh, it's raining. I don't care. I'm going to take myself out for a walk in the rain. Who cares about my hair? Hey, doesn't matter if it gets wet. Anyway, I'm out there, I'm like walking the rain, I'm on my fucking fringe. And I was like, hang on, why don't I do like a, you know, a bit of like a Taylor Swift kind of like leave it bit wavy, bit that kind of like, you know, rock and roll kind of vibe. She's not rock and roll, by the way, but yeah, you know, like a bit like, let's not have the fringe dead straight. Anywho, ta-da! I loves it. My hairdresser knows what's up. I gave her permission and she's showed up again. Actually, I'm just like, I'm still looking at it and I'm like, yeah, mind. It's all cool. It's all cool. But yeah. Year Sam 2025. 2025, yeah. Let's hope that 2026 is a lot better, but however, I'm still here, still breathing, still kicking, as I like to say. Yeah. It's even great too when you go to work and people understand you so much as well. Like they were doing like Christmas t-shirts, like, you know, funny sayings everyone has. And mine was, it's cooked. So I don't know, I feel really validated, really understood. And my hairdresser's my new favorite person because she's just like, I know what's up. And like initially I was just like, what the hell? And she's like, don't worry, it'll settle in a couple of days. And I'm like, it'll settle. And I'm just like, what the hell? And now literally within like, you know, a couple of hours, I was like, it's settled. I like this. But anyway, I'm still working on my merch. Things will be out real soon. If you guys want anything in particular, I'm looking at t-shirts and some other stuff. But if there's anything you're like, I wouldn't mind that. I had a really cool, you know, obviously the cap. Yeah. So if you ever get a bad fringe cut, just put one of these bad boys on, you'll be fine. But yeah, no. Nah, life's good. I'm feeling very grateful. I've got amazing people in my life and things are looking up for now. But let's get to part 2 of the rest of Phoebe's stories. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the last, and this has not been long too. This has probably been only in the last literally 4 days of my existence. Grab a drink, relax, and enjoy.
Okay. How do you feel about a headless horseman?
Oh, I feel great about a headless horseman. Never
Yeah,
felt better.
yeah.
Let's do
Have
it.
you had a headless horseman story yet?
I have not actually. And
Oh, brilliant.
my pop used to talk about the headless horseman all the time. So please go for it.
I wonder if it's the same. Okay, so yeah, so my headless horseman experience, it's believed that his name is Charlie Kendall. So back when I was like 14 or something, yeah, it was summer of 2014, sorry, 2004. I get my years mixed up. But I was lucky enough to attend a free summer camp at Camp Jungai. It's a indigenous place for the Koris. It's not Jungai is known as meeting place, so it was a place for, the way it was described to me was where the Koris and the whites could meet and be on peaceful terms. So I was lucky enough to go, and it was, I'm sure my parents were pleased to get rid of me for a week free of charge. But so where we were up in the mountains, of course, you know, generations had been there. You know, like my foster sister's mum was there, you know, on camp, sort of thing. So multiple generations, and you know, there was all this talk about a headless horseman. And then, of course, a little bit further up the road, oh, it's about a 2K walk or something, there's an old campsite known as Kendall Campsite. And apparently that's where Charlie Kendall used to live. And this was no idea when, but it was still when they were hanging people. But yeah, apparently he went mad, killed his wife, and of course he got caught. He was sentenced to death, but apparently he asked to get his head chopped off. But interestingly enough, his horse was put down at the same time when he was executed. But there were these interesting, you know, like as we're walking up there, it's getting dark, and it got dark really quickly. It was like a light switch went off. So, of course, I'm sweeping my torch across, you know, just checking my surroundings. And there's a few people walking up ahead in front of me, and about 20 meters. But between the two of us, I've just seen a man with a horse, and I've gone, what? But like that whole week we were up there, like, because when cabins are built into the mountain, so that little top window at the top bunk, and it looks straight up the mountain. Yeah, there were lanterns going through and stuff like that. Could hear horses, but interestingly enough, I just got my very first camera phone. It was a little flip phone. It was a Sigma My-C4. One of the first photos I took was of these mountain ranges, and on one side, on one mountain, you can see a woman's head of a, like a side profile, like the queen's head on the coin. But yeah, on the other side, you can see this really disgruntled white person, like male. And then in the middle, there is an Aboriginal elder. And there's an Aboriginal elder that protects that area. And, so of course, me being it wasn't even 14 yet, but of course, this is probably when I first started playing around with the paranormal as we were walking out there. I was like, hey, Charlie, I'm not scared of you. And then, of course, that night, because there was bluestone pathing, you could hear the sounds of boots, heavy old school boots, and a horse walking up and down the cabins. And then all of a sudden it was inside the cabin. And so I'm laying there with my eyes shut. I can feel this really dark force right here. The next thing, I feel this other force come in. And it was kind of like, even though I'm laying there in the complete dark with my eyes shut, I'm getting flashes of white light as these two things are fighting. And then, of course, you hear the horse galloping off, and everything just feels so calm and light. And I wasn't the only one who felt that. There were others in the cabin that had felt this, and being, First Nation people, they're very in tune to the land. And we all came to the conclusion that Charlie, because we were shit stirring him, he wanted to make his presence known, and that Aboriginal elder was like, oh, hell no, not on my watch. So, yeah, that's I'm still keen to go back out there and check out Charlie Kendall's campsite and see if he remembers me. But I now have more skill and I have equipment. But yeah, you can jump back in now.
Fucking Charlie Kendall. And I don't
Yeah.
the headless awesome. So obviously I've written before, like as you were discussing fire, I got lantern kerosene. Do you know how he murdered his wife?
No idea.
I wonder if he
I
burnt something down, or like there's some fire kerosene like that would just
Yeah.
obviously a black horse,
Yeah. Well, I could
some
see
white
black when
spots on it.
across, but yeah, wouldn't
Just some white
surprise me.
spots. Yeah. He's obviously
He was.
abusive. So anyone that
Oh
he
yeah.
abused the land. So hence why he's still there, but they're just like, fuck off. Like, I got no time.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he's had multiple runs in with that elder, purely because, like his house is so close to this, meeting place. And,
And
of
what's he
course.
done though, as well? Like if he's murdered someone on that sacred
Hmm.
land, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
He's going to be either probably trapped there as punishment, but
Hmm.
also not allowed to have power. So he's going to be constantly to be trapped
Yeah.
there, and you'd be like, oh, I've got a little bit, but then they're going to go, no, 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 no. You can have a
And,
taste, but you can't have it. You like to
yeah.
hurt people, you have a little piece, but you don't have a lot. So that's quite
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Like this was like, different things all throughout the week, but we could hear the horse and we could see this lantern going through the mountains at
Oh, you could
night.
see the lantern.
Yeah, you
Oh,
could see
holy
this little
fuck.
light.
That's literally what,
Yeah.
yeah, that's how I wrote down
As
like
if he's,
fire, lantern, kerosene. Like I had like
yeah, as if
like
he's,
I
as
wrote
if
that
he's,
down after you said your free summer camp. It was a free summer camp, and I literally wrote down fire, lantern, and kerosene. Like I circled them
oh,
all.
wow.
And then it was like
Yeah.
black horse. I wrote white spots,
Yeah.
coins as well as a big thing too. Because you said queen of like the coins is a massive thing. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
so obviously that was money to do with it too. Maybe he got paid
I don't
money
know.
for something. There was obviously money involved. He's angry, abusive
Yeah.
though. He's a
Well,
piece of shit. He had no respect for anything, but there was money involved.
yeah. Well, as you mentioned money, my entire altar is actually covered in UK coins because
Hey.
I'm also a big believer in paying the ferryman, but I know some don't have that. And so these coins here are free passage for those who need the ferryman.
Coins are pretty, they're really, it's just, yeah, like it's transactional too. So it's kind of,
Yeah,
and they're representative of stuff. So it's like, but the coins that
yeah,
you saw the female that look like there's
yeah.
definitely money or transaction that he's,
Oh, yeah,
the disrespect that he's done has something to do with money.
yeah,
100%. And then hence why, like, and obviously he's hurt someone, and there's just, but he'll forever
yeah,
just be chasing his tail
yeah.
forever. Like, it's kind of
And
like he gets a little bit, but then it gets taken
yeah,
away. It's like
he
he's
gets this
punished.
scaring the shit out of kids on summer camp. To refer to this story as taking out the rubbish. And so, to give you a little bit of a background, the reason I call my biological father the sperm donor because, yeah, he wasn't very, very nice, but he was literally the DSM equivalent of narcissist. And he didn't need substances or anything like that. But with that constant negative energy, he would leave that behind. And the best way to describe these entities that he would create in the movie, what is it? Fern Tree Gully. Uh, the character played by Tim Curry of that oozing oil that was sucking off of the fumes and everything like that. It's just like that. It drips off of him and it stays there and it grows. It creates fear. So he'd visited my cousin Debbie in the UK, and this was when she didn't realize that he was full of shit. But after he'd sort of fucked everything up and left, he had left this goop behind, and it had been tormenting her for almost 2 years. Like the old hag syndrome would be crawling up her and pinning her down to the bed, and she couldn't sleep. She, things were, like it was really affecting her mental health and her marriage. And then, of course, when I went over and I visited her, hadn't seen her in like 18 years, get there, and I was like, oh, really? You're here? And because I've been dealing with this ever since I can remember, I just more or less picked it up, put it in my pocket, and when I headed back to Scotland, because I was flying in and out of Edinburgh, yeah, I just literally threw it out, and it's stuck in the middle of a sheep paddock on the border of England and Scotland. And interestingly enough, because she told me about it, I was like, oh, yep, okay, yep. After I'd left, and it'd been a few months, she video calls me and she goes, I haven't had that thing. Everything's so much lighter. Nothing feels dark in the house. I went, oh, yeah, that thing. It's head first in a sheep paddock getting shat on by sheep. And even to this day, she goes, I saved her life, her sanity, and her sleep. But yeah, so literally taking out the trash because, things don't have to be living to become an entity. But yeah, you can jump back in, Sam.
I 100% agree with that. And even just off my own recent experience, for the last couple of years, I've been tormented by something in my house, right? And here am I
Mm.
thinking, fuck, have I brought this something back from somewhere? Blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
No, it was created by someone that was living in my house that is no longer living in my house. And I'll tell you right now, the internal peace that I have and the peace that's in my house and the way that my cat that would live outside that would not come back in, she comes in now. Like
Mm.
the whole house, the energy, the flow of this house is so different just because that person is gone. And I was like, I'm not
Yeah.
allowing this bullshit to happen anymore. People, get rid of it. And I bet, did she look like she was eaten away?
Yeah.
Like she looked
Yeah.
exhausted. So I reckon the next
Oh, yeah.
time, and I wrote down new life, like I wrote, it was eating her away. Like she was like a shell of who she used to be. She was
Oh,
something that,
yeah.
yeah. And then obviously this thing that whatever it was created, because energy is
Yeah.
energy. You can't get rid of energy. Like, whether
No.
it's created by a fucking spirit or not, or there's just a lot of anger and
Mm.
nastiness, it's
Yeah.
creating a vibe and an energy, and that shit can live on, especially, and I reckon, especially with people that are sensitive, can also help
Oh,
feed it because then all of a sudden we're anxious because we can feed it. So then
Yeah.
it gets food and it keeps growing and it gets worse. And it's kind of
Yeah.
like this kind of, where is it? But you know, like a bit, bit of a dull person that doesn't pick up on something, it might not feed as much. But if you're
Yeah.
sensitive and aware that, hang on, I don't feel great, there's something going on, that fear will, yeah, feed it
Yeah.
into this other
Oh,
bullshit that's just been created. And yeah,
yeah. It was like being brought up with that. I had like it was literally oozing off of me,
oh,
and like I was really, really angry.
you get angry and you're like, this isn't
Yeah.
me. I'm not
Yeah.
angry like this. What the hell? And it's like, and someone only has to say one thing, all of a sudden you just like, and it's just like, who is this person? I'm not this person. What the
Oh,
fuck is this?
and like I remember when I was younger, when I lost my temper, I would get this huge, very thick West Yorkshire accent. And I'm constantly there going, I can't do an accent. I can't do an accent no matter how hard I try. Even though I grew up with that West Yorkshire accent, I can understand it clear as anything, but it would come out, which was great when I got into pub fights because they were probably more scared of, me going from the way I talk to a thick West Yorkshire
They're
accent.
like, hang
And
on,
I
we
knew
don't want to mess with her. Like, yeah, you give the crazy eyes though, and people are just like, we don't know what she's going to, we don't know what she's capable of. We just won't. And you're just like, and then they leave, and you're like, oh, thank fuck. Like,
yeah, but yeah, but now, like even, I can walk into someone's house and if I can sense something like that, I can just pick it up and yeet it. But literally the way I describe it is literally that evil spirit from Fern Tree Gully. My cousin, she's like 18 or 17 and a half years older than me. But she looked way older than that. And now
it
she
was
looks
eating
more her
her, it was eating her
alive.
alive. And I bet she was waking up multiple times a night, was not getting any sleep, was
Yep.
having her sleep messed with, was feeling like her bed was being kicked, like something was warning
Oh,
her off
yeah.
stuff. Oh fuck, this thing's going to kick us out in a sec. But I reckon, because this is exactly the same thing as what I went through, and I was thinking, oh my god, I've got this fucking spirit in my house. I'm like, no, it wasn't. It was something being like, wake up, this is bullshit. And
Yeah.
then the minute that you wake up and you get rid of the thing and you do all that stuff, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Well, what I'm going to ask you though is, what is your
hmm,
most profound paranormal experience? If you haven't already
ooh,
told me, obviously.
ooh, hmm. Actually, this one. Okay. So this happened back in 2018, December 2018. So my grandmother, who I'm, still incredibly close to, even though she's passed, like we were thick as thieves. We were like the same ADHD, sort of same person, just different generations. And she ended up suffering 3 massive heart attacks at 86. Although, if you asked her, she said, no, I only had two because the silent one doesn't count. And, so of course they were saying palliative care. She wasn't going to live, she'd be lucky enough to live past New Year's. And palliative care was her biggest fear. So, of course, I get rid of the blue hair. I pack a backpack, I fly up to far north Queensland and take out all the piercings, dress not in black, look normal, and I go and fight the hospital board to have custody of my grandmother to take care of her. And they're like, yeah, she'll be in palliative care before you know it. I'm like, no. But so of course it was still that few days before she could even get out. So I'm at her house by myself for a few days. And so I'm just laying down in the lounge room and the lights off in the kitchen. And the best way to describe it was like I could hear, like cups. Oh, there's still coffee in that. But I could hear like cups clinking. I could hear, the whispers as if there was like, like the adults having a meeting in the kitchen. And I'm thinking, I'm home alone. And I'm like, I should probably get up. And did I lock the door? And I've turned and I've looked at the door and I've seen my granddad standing there, real as life. And he goes, look, it'll be okay. We're just having a little meeting, working out what we're doing. And I was like, okay. And then, of course, the next night, because I'd spent the whole day up at the hospital, next night, I was back home, and once again I could hear as if the adults were having a meeting, and I was like, no, stuff this. They can include me. So I brought up my spirit box. My grandma had bought me it as an early Christmas present before she had her heart attacks. So I was like, no, stuff this. And I go and sit in the kitchen table. I've got the K2 meter there, which my grandma had also just bought me. It is going mental. And I've got the spirit box there, and I go, okay, I can hear you, but I can't understand what you're talking about. Please tell me. And I get this really nice, lovely voice, one that I'd never heard because I'd met all but one of my grandma's sisters. And I've seen video footage of the one I hadn't met, and it definitely wasn't her. So it may have been grandma's mum. So my great grandmother. And I hear this, sweet as anything, just kind, caring, not sickly, give you a cavity sweet. And all I hear is just visiting Junie. And because everyone used to call my grandmother Junie. And because like that, there's a part of me that's there going, should I ask this question? Because I was terrified that they were going to take my grandma away. And they decided that they were just visiting her because the veil was quite thin. And the next day, my grandmother got discharged and she came home, and I ended up telling her about it. And she goes, do you know what was really funny? The day before I ended up in hospital, or the night before, I was dreaming and I heard a knock at the door. And it was the front door, and no one uses her front door because it's on the opposite side to where the driveway is, because everyone comes straight up. Knock at the door, and she opens the front door, and there's Granddad standing there, and his tie is straight. And he goes, I can't stay, but be prepared. And Grandma goes, I can't understand that, but I knew something was seriously wrong because his tie was straight. But to me, hearing those words, just visiting Junie in one of the most terrifying times of my life, of potentially losing my grandmother. Yeah. And Grandma was like, oh yeah, that sounds like my mum. But it did scare me. And once when they said, just visiting Junie, I was like, okay, cool. Okay, I'll leave you be, have your mother's club meeting. And I turned all the equipment off. I went back into the lounge room. I had my headphones on, and I was like, that's it. I know they're just visiting. But yeah, you can jump back in, Sam.
Oh, yeah, I've got like a lot of feelings through that. What you were,
Yeah.
that's really beautiful, actually. Like, I think that's amazing. I'll just read out what I've written down without assuming
Mm.
anything. And this is honestly, I could be fucking incorrect. And please tell me, like,
No,
no, that's
no, that's
bullshit.
fine.
Um, but I just write stuff down as you're talking. So,
No, no. Right.
and see what happens. So obviously, so you said, as soon as you said palliative care, I was like, hang on, nah, she's a fighter. Fuck no. And then I got the color purple or lavender. Bread, like the smell of bread, or there was some obviously the tinkering away in the kitchen. But would have been a certain, did you smell a certain smell as
I
well?
honestly can't remember because I was also smoking cigarettes inside her house.
Oh, okay.
Although,
Maybe,
well,
okay. That's hilarious. Did she smoke cigarettes
yeah, she used to smoke 3 to 4 packs of 30s a day.
inside?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. All
yeah.
right.
I actually have a few of her ashtrays here.
Oh, I love that. Okay, that's so cute. So I've got like literally, I wrote tea, like as in like, a cup of tea, like, but that's
Oh
the
yeah,
support. They were all there for the support. And yeah, I was like, why not? Why aren't you involved kind of thing? And then sort of like, oh, the wireless, like she would love like a little radio kind of the wireless.
yeah.
I love that she brought you a spirit box. That's so cool.
Purple,
So obviously she
purple.
was like spiritual plus, 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 plus.
Oh yeah, yeah. She was pissing
But I
off. She
also,
missed out on the civil rights movement.
yeah, oh, I
But
literally
yeah,
wrote
you were saying
down red. Oh,
purple.
Okay. Oh, holy shit. I could see purple lavender, like really. I also wrote down red, and also
Brando used
lace.
to
There
make
was
bread.
something with lace as well, like lace, not red lace, but there was lace, like as in like the material white, but red. But then other than that, I wrote down flowers, but roses. There's something
Yes,
to do
she
with
had.
roses. So whether they're on like the teacups too, or they're somewhere to do with, there was red. She loved, obviously she loved the purple and the lavender, but there was like also the red, the flowers, roses. There was something
Yeah.
specific.
Her her two favorite flowers, roses and orchids. Favorite
So
color was
purple
blue.
orchids. Oh,
I'm
blue.
all blue.
Okay. All
Blue.
right.
But
Fair
because
enough, though. Like,
I
look, no,
but
but
oh
that's what I
well
was kind of
because
seeing
of
in my mind. It was like
yeah,
that purpley, bluey kind
yeah.
of like
Yeah,
heaven color.
just for the listeners out there, I'm actually holding my grandmother's program for her funeral, and I actually designed all of this. I went with blue orchids, unbeknownst to me until the day of no, it was the viewing. So the day before the funeral, my mum had organised the casket and everything because my grandma said, I just want the cheapest casket they've got because it's just a wooden box, it's getting cremated. But my mum splurged a little bit and had gold roses put on. Are you all right there?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm just getting like massive goosebumps everywhere. But there's something about lace though as well. There's something about lace,
Um,
like you know, you get these pretty white tablecloths that are like with lace or like beautiful white where what you put
that
your coffee cup on,
lace.
or there'd be something like lace. It's wild. Oh, you there? What's
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, so I've got a photo of my grandma. It's a multi-layered dress with laces on it. Lace on it.
was it purple? I feel like it was like a
No,
mauve, like a very light purple
yeah,
color.
it's like a light pinky color.
Yeah, like a light, like a mauve, like a very
Yeah,
faint purple. Holy fuck.
yeah,
Okay, right on.
yeah.
Um, and then obviously with your grandfather too, that when he wanted to make it when he had his tie straight. That was a statement in itself. The fact that he wanted A to be remembered, and B, he wanted your grandmother to know that he made the effort. Because
Mm.
she'd probably always get frustrated with the fact that why did you fucking tie crooked? Like, or not that she'd swear, but
Uh,
why did you tie crooked?
uh,
Just straighten up the tie. Like, no, I like it crooked kind of thing. But
yeah,
it
but
was like a statement to actually, I'm going to make sure that it's straight. So you
yeah,
A, remember, and
yeah.
B, I've made effort.
Yeah, because Grandma said that she's had dreams of him before, and she's just sort of never really remembered it. But the thing that struck her was the tie was straight, and she knew that something was going to happen.
And I wonder if he purposely did the crooked tie because he knew that it annoyed her
Yep.
in a cute,
Probably.
playful way. Or like, when someone
Oh yeah.
tells you to do something, especially if he is neurodivergent, as you and I are, someone tells you to do
Yeah.
something, you're just like, no, I'll do it, but I'll do it fucking crooked. Like, it's like, oh, okay, you might want to make a bet kind of thing. And is there a name with an S
Audio
as well? I've written S as a name.
spelt with an
I
S.
can't remember what the hell. I was like, hang on, spirituality, I wrote red, and then the lace too. But
Hmm.
there's red too. Is red a color that was in the house?
She had orange benches, but they were sort
Okay.
of like a really deep blood orange. Um,
Yeah, there's something about red, or like red was a color that she liked, but
yeah, she
I
liked
don't
red,
know.
but blue was hands down her favorite color.
Red. Did she have roses on her property at all? Though?
No, but she
No.
did when she owned it, had her property out at Mitcham. She had the most amazing garden. She even grew tropical plants that shouldn't have grown in Melbourne. She
Were
was a
they
green
red
witch.
roses? Were they red
Yeah,
roses though? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that they were really special and symbolic.
Yeah. Well, she loved roses. Um,
Are you
yeah.
sure it's okay that I'm talking about this sort of stuff?
No, no, go for it.
Oh
No,
no, that's cool.
'cause
Yeah.
I love talking about my grandmother.
Oh no, and I know that she's because it's just like she loves this, and like the tinkering away and the support, the tea, there's something about a smell though. So I wonder if you smell a certain smell, would it remind you of her? That's what I'm, or there
Oh,
will be a
yeah.
smell that you can like kind of, like obviously our senses, we smell their biggest memory, like our trigger memory.
Okay. You're almost on point there. Post-nasal drip. Yeah, of course I use the medical term. So my grandma's left nostril always used to drip. Don't know why. They couldn't explain it. It always dripped. And then I think it was about
Does she use hankies as well?
tissues. Oh,
Does she-
she did have hankies.
okay, yeah.
And
What if
they
there's
would
roses?
have lace on them.
They had
She'd
what?
put lace on her
Oh,
hanky.
that's literally what I thought. I was just like, hang on. As
Yeah.
soon as you said that, I was like, hang on, okay, no, there's definitely. I was like, I thought, oh yeah, tissues, but there would be hankies. She'd probably use a hanky in, like it'd be like a private thing, but obviously in front of people would be like, oh, tissues, because I'd use tissues and get rid
Oh,
of it. But
it,
the hanky would be like, yeah, with either lace or
it
roses
was
on it,
more
or it
special
was,
occasions when the hankies came out, so she wasn't carrying
oh, how
tissues because
cute. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, she'd put lace on her handkerchiefs. But yeah, so instead of a smell, I inherited her postnasal drip. So whenever I know she's around, my left nostril drips for no apparent reason, which is great when it's at work.
Oh, there's nothing worse. Like,
Yeah.
but
Uh,
do you
yeah.
lose your sense of smell in that nose though? Like,
Yes, because she'd lost her
there's,
sense of smell.
oh,
Yeah.
that's why that's really important because I think she missed it. I think that's why flowers and stuff's coming up a lot because she actually missed the smell of the flowers. Probably why she loved roses because
Yeah.
she loves the smell of roses. The purple and like, the orchids and
Yeah.
stuff. Like she would have loved the smell of them and she
Yeah.
lost that.
Oh
That was a
yeah.
loss.
Yeah.
And even the smell of bread too. Like, did she bake bread?
Oh, she couldn't cook to save her life. She followed the
No.
instructions on 2 minute noodles to the T.
Oh,
It was
God love
granddad
her.
who cooked.
But did
Granddad.
anyone cook bread though? Like, it would be like fresh
Oh
bread
yeah,
kind of
granddad.
vibe. That, yeah, well, the smell of that she loved, and like that was like the she lost that.
Yeah.
So that's actually really important that if you want to feel close to her, like that, those sort of smells will
Mm,
be great. Like she'll love that. Like that would be like,
yeah.
if that makes, I don't, I'm sorry. I hope that makes,
No, no, no. It makes perfect sense.
there's
Because
something about red
sometimes
though.
yeah.
There's something
So
about red. There's an
granddad.
item that's
Oh,
red.
red, red.
There's either like a teacup that's red or there's something that's red, like pure kind of blood red. Something like an
Mm.
item of theirs. I don't know. But what were you going to say about the red though? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I said bread.
Oh, I was saying red as
She was
well.
like,
So I was like bread
no,
and red. I said both, but yeah.
no, so talking about the bread and everything. So when my granddad was over in the Antarctic, they had employed this really fancy high-end chef to cook for them, but he couldn't make bread. And the only one who could make bread on the base was my granddad. So he made all the bread.
Feel like the smell was homely
Yeah.
and it made her feel
Yeah.
comfortable. It was like he's home, he's doing it. Was like a special thing that he would do that she loved because it's bread's actually, and the smell of
Oh,
bread
yeah.
is just like it's so comforting and it's so nice.
Oh,
And but yeah, it'd be interesting to see though if there is anything in the house or that you remember that like even like a utensil or something that was red, like the color red.
the ladle.
Well,
The handle on, like literally, that's the only red thing I can actually think of is the handle on her ladle. Her ladle did not match any of her other stuff. It was a bright blood red handle. And I remember because she used to make her famous tomato soup,
oh my God.
which
Okay,
was
yeah.
and it had croutons in it, which was essentially broken up either saladas or Sayos because she couldn't cook.
But or would it have been the bread?
Mm.
Maybe a
Yeah, I
tiny
mean, I
little, oh
wasn't
my
great.
God, soup. But
Yeah.
she felt proud about that soup though. She's like, I can do this. Like, that's fine.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, she was so proud of that. Yeah. It was like your concentrated tin of Campbell's tomato soup, and she'd be like, you got to add half a tin of milk, half a tin of water, and then you mix it, and
Oh,
then
she
she
loved it.
every
And she had the special soup ladle. She's like, no, I've got this. Even though I know that cooking's not my strength, but I can do this. She,
yeah,
yeah, that was like, and I bet me money your grandfather just loved it. Like, I think he was like, can you cook this soup or can you do this? Like, just to make, not just to make her feel good, but like, he obviously liked it, but at the same time, he's like, oh, I really feel like your soup's not like, just as like a,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the only thing I could think of with red, with like blood red, is the ladle, and it doesn't match any of her other utensils,
It
and
was
it's
definitely
just
a
a ladle.
utensil that I could see. It was like definitely like a something. Like it was like an item in your house. It would be like, what the hell is that red?
Yeah,
But it was
yeah.
really prominent and important to her. So where is that?
It's still in her drawer. We still have her house. Yes,
Oh,
because
okay.
like
I've just
she's
got
not.
shivers again. That's really important. She loved that because I think that she identified
Yeah,
herself with being able to cook and do what she wanted to do with that.
yeah.
Um,
Not that she did much
mm,
cooking, and then I took over all the cooking when I was there. And she's like, "You're just like your granddad. You don't measure anything. You look at a recipe and just go meh, meh, meh."
I do the same thing though too. I'm just like,
Like,
I'm not measuring. I'm like, I'll go by taste.
yeah, well, that's like what was it? Our like the family recipe for corned beef. Turns out, I always thought Granddad had made it. Turned out it was Grandma's recipe that she made herself. And she turns around and goes, "This is, I can't believe it. It's my recipe, and you don't follow it correctly. You just dump stuff in, and it's better.
Yeah,
How?"
it's like how this has been handed down from generations to generations, a certain pinch of salt, and now all of a sudden you do this and you're, oh, yeah, she'd be like,
Yeah.
but
And then she
secretly
was,
probably loved it because you didn't have to do it.
yeah, that was the main thing. Like, to give you an idea how much she hated cooking, she decided that the kitchen was a better office because you had your kettle and your fridge and your snacks and your
I
chocolate
love
in the
that.
fridge.
I vibe. I vibe. I love cooking, but at the same time, like if I don't have to do it, I'm okay with that. Like
Yeah,
it's not a bitch thing. Like, I'm kind of like literally just kind of like, I enjoy cooking, but like the stuff that I like cooking, the kids won't fucking eat. So it's be like more like if they're not here, then I'll want to cook. But I'm like, hang on, I'm just cooking for me. So it's just a bit
yeah,
lame. And that's probably why I'm eating it anyway. But like, now that I'm seeing someone new, so I'm kind of like, oh, I'll cook this. And then so I've got the excitement back. But I
yeah,
love cooking. Yeah, it's good.
yeah.
But
Oh,
then
look, if you
also
want some
happy
good
to not do it.
recipes, let me know.
I'm always looking for new.
Not
I
that I,
like anything. I eat everything. I love anything. I eat spicy. I eat fucking anything you want to throw at me that you think she'll like. I eat anything. There's nothing that I do not eat. Like I literally live for that stuff.
oh, I'll have to, like, one of my go-to recipes, and I doesn't matter if it's the most fussiest kids or fussiest people, they will eat it and love it. And it's
Okay, tell me what it
one of
is.
the it's called honey chicken.
Honey
Literally,
chicken.
yeah, honey chicken. So essentially, all it is, you get your chicken pieces. Drumsticks are usually the classic, but you measure with your heart with all-purpose seasoning, good dollop of honey drizzle. Like I'm talking like dessert spoon or two.
Oh
A
God, yeah,
little bit of
yeah. The
little bit
more
of
the better.
water.
I'm a big
Yeah,
sauce girl, so how much you can put
yeah.
on there, the better. Yep.
And yeah, a bit of water in the bottom of your baking dish, but make sure it's deep enough, like a roasting dish, to put foil over the top. You cook it for about 40 minutes. Take the tray out. You put all your chicken pieces onto another tray. Let them brown up a little bit, and then you heat up your stock. Add a bit of corn flour mixed with water into it. Thicken it up into a pan gravy.
You need to send this to me ASAP because I cannot deal
Yeah.
with. I mean, I can deal. It's like my favorite thing is like even if I cook wings, like the drippings off. I'm just gonna sound so gross, but the drippings off the wings, like
Yeah.
marinade and that I will
Can
like
do.
just fucking eat it. Like I'm literally just like, I love this. And people are like, that's so gross. I'm like, have you tried it? And I'm like, literally
Yeah.
don't criticize until you've tried. You put the wings up on like the little thing and it drops down, you're thinking it's gross. But like at the same time, it's like there is
Yeah.
nothing better than that chicken nectar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, look, I'm so guilty of it if I get a whole chook because I'll cut it up into different things, but I'll skin it first. But I'll lay the skin out flat as one piece on baking paper
Oh,
on a tray,
fuck yeah.
cook it in the oven, and just eat it. It's not
Fuck
the
yeah.
best thing for you, but
Oh, I don't
fuck
care.
it.
It's like this is what like oh God, I've just lost an ear. Not an ear, an earbud. Um, no, legit, like this is what life is for. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Is
Yeah.
for eating chicken skin and just baking it and just living life. Like I feel like there's a lot worse things we could be doing. Like meth, you know what I mean?
Cocaine.
Like there's like
You say meth, I say cocaine.
it could be anything. I feel like, you know, and I'm nothing against the people that do you, but I'm like I'm happy to eat my
Look,
chicken skin and my chicken fat.
yeah, oh look, to be fair, I have soluble mercury in my bedroom.
It's cool. Whatever. Let's just eat some chicken.
Oh no, I'm not going to eat it. It was treatment for syphilis from 1914.
So you get syphilis, you get cured from that, but then you get cancer. That's awesome.
Well, it was for
Did
men who
you? I
got
don't know.
pregnant.
I know.
It
Did they?
was for
I've
men.
got no idea what happens with mercury. Like I know you can get mercury poisoning.
Yeah, so you know the Mad Hatters. So they were playing with
Yeah.
normal mercury.
Yeah.
Soluble mercury dissolves into the body,
But that can
and
kill you, yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
You
yeah, too
know,
much mercury is
nothing.
like makes your hair fall and you get fucked. You know what I mean? Like worse
Yeah,
fucked than syphilis fucked. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So
Not
that
like, you
that
know,
was for men. At
oh,
least it wasn't for women. It was for men.
because even like what do they call it? Oh, that's general paralysis of the insane, GPA. Is it or
Yeah,
GPI? That's right.
yeah.
And that was the final stage of syphilis where people went mad, obviously, and then they
Oh
were
yeah,
put
yeah.
in,
Yes,
yeah,
and their noses were falling.
GPI.
Yeah, their noses were falling off before Michael Jackson was thought of.
That's wild. You know, and like you just think like if I just did not root that specific person, everything would have been fine.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
whole life would have, or if I would have gone to the doctor and said, "Hey, my genitals are on fire. Like, can you help me?" You know, this would not have happened at the end.
Yeah,
GPI, you know. Isn't that like Al
yeah,
Capone got that though, didn't he? Didn't he fucking die of the last stage of syphilis?
yeah. I think it was
Was that Al
tertiary
Capone?
stage.
Yeah, like, and that's like when you go mad because of it. Like it's like your
Yeah,
brain's like,
yeah,
yeah, fucking
yeah. Well,
wild.
you know how judges wear wigs?
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently, the story, as I use air quotation, so apparently a lot of judges back in the day had syphilis, and it would cause your hair to fall out. So apparently
Hmm.
they started wearing wigs, so people didn't realize that their hair was falling out, and they had syphilis.
But they were just people that rooted around. Cool.
Okay.
We definitely can. Is my audio sound okay?
Yeah, look,
I'm
it's
hoping
fine.
to charge pretty quick, but yeah, awesome. Go for it.
Yeah. Okay, so this next story I like to call Hickman Street Hidden Secrets. So I used to live on Hickman Street in Ballarat, and the cottage I was in, it was well over 100 years old. The condition of it was definitely in that condition. But being an old cottage, it had quite high ceilings. But surprisingly enough, the backyard was actually higher than the roof because it was on a slope. And I never really went up the backyard because I'm not going to climb a mountain just to get to my back fence. And plus, you know, there was nothing exciting up there. There was just some trees. They were walnuts, and I only knew that because the possums kept eating them. But right from the moment we moved in, inside the house, things were getting moved around. And I like to say I'm a collector. Most people would say I'm a hoarder. I still have a lot of my old toys from when I was a kid. And of course, I had them out in the spare room. up on display sort of thing, and you could hear them and being moved around. But I remember the day that we were moving in, there was this tiny little step to go into the kitchen. It was only probably about 3 inches, but I kept tripping over that, and I finally face planted onto the hardwood floor in the kitchen. And I did smack my head, and all I could hear was this child giggling. And I was like, okay. I knew that there was something in here right from the get-go when we first viewed the place, but it was still innocent. It was quite cute. But there was something about that backyard that really got to me. And there was a few, times where we'd go out. My ex and I would go out because we were living together. We'd go out somewhere, dinner, whatever. We'd get back and we'd find that lights are on. And we didn't plan on being out that late. And I just get this horrible, sick, sinking feeling. Then, because I figured my ex was about as sensitive as a brick, I would make this excuse that, oh, hang on, I've just got to go catch my cat. Can you just open up and go through the house? And I remember first time it happened, we ended up going and knocking on the guy's house across the road and said, look, we think there's someone in our house. Here's our key. But there was never anyone in the house. And every so often it would become so dark, depressive, horrid. And because, as well as that, while I was living there, I was studying media in Geelong. And because I didn't drive, dumbass me, choose to study in Geelong. So, of course, I was up at 4 a.m. so I could leave at 5 to get to the train station. And I remember this one morning, I was like, oh shit, I got to take the bins out because if I don't, my ex won't. And then I'll be in trouble, same story. So, of course, I've gone out the back door and I've grabbed the recycle bin. Next thing, this thing just comes flying down from the backyard. And it was as if it was a person, but it wasn't. It was kind of like a shadow man, but not quite, because it was on fire. And it was literally on the other side of the bin. So there's just the recycle bin. And I feel like this thing is going to seriously fuck me up. There is something serious about it. So I literally grabbed the bin and I run around the side of the house. I still put the bin out even though I was shitting myself. And then I was like, shit, I got to go and grab the other bin. And I go back out. And yeah, it was fine. Nice and normal. But the thing was, I always got this sensation that some really horrible man was, bumped off, as my grandma used to say, and buried in that backyard. And he would try ever so hard to get into that house. But as well as that, we had sort of the sinister evil, but we also had the innocence inside the house. But we were in that house for almost 2 years, and through a lot of love and respect, that innocent little child that used to play around and stuff, I'm pretty sure she moved on before we managed to afford to move out of that mold-ridden, haunted, fucked up house. But, I think probably one of the worst memories I had, because we had a big shed out the back that we used to have house parties in. We'd take the computers out, we'd go and game in there. And I remember, because this was when Slender Man first came out, we were all playing Slender Man in the shed. And we can hear the sound of someone walking around the back of the shed. And we're just like, no, that's got to be the game. But it was enough for all these hardcore gamers to just turn off the computers and leave. We all left. But yeah, it's still there. My foster sister ended up moving in 2 houses down from this house, and even she said, look, that there's still something in that backyard. It just radiates. It tries to build up energy, tries to get into that house. And I would like to go and knock on the door and speak to the people that are living there now, but I don't want to seem like a batshit crazy person, but also I don't want to deal with that shit. And this was when I had the door closed. I wasn't trying to open the door or anything like that. And the fact that I saw something when I had the door closed, and I was trying so hard to be, away from all that. And the interesting thing was, when I closed that door, I lost my gator. But yeah, you can jump back in now, Sam.
Well.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a reverse ha-ha wall I wrote down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like instead of it being like sit down, it's like walk up and you're like, I'm not going up there, I can't be far.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and
Um,
then of course there's a colorbond fence as well up the very top. But like, yeah.
yeah, but it's like you've got to get the whole way. You're just like, yeah, nah, that's like a
Yeah.
ha-ha. Like I'm not climbing up that.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
But there was this weird sensation of having to try and get underneath the house, because the house is built on a slope like this, and it was sinking, but there was like this whole thing that like there was something under the house. And it did make the animals uneasy as well, because we had 2 cats and I had a dog as well.
Because I wrote down like a tree and then like back right corner as well. Like, so I
Yeah.
have no idea what the hell that looks like. But then I also wrote down watches, like as in like a watch, like wristwatch. The toys that would move, would they be like wooden old ones with like,
Oh, they were sort of like stuffed toys.
oh,
But
actually like that. Okay, cool.
yeah, stuffed
I've
toys.
got
Like
written
these are
dolls
old.
down as well.
Pardon?
Dolls written down as well.
Oh, actually, my ex found out I was scared of porcelain dolls
Oh.
and was going and buying them from op shops to freak me out. And in that house, bought a porcelain doll, and it
How
was
do you
one of the
know it
ones
was
that,
actually with the house?
oh, it was there right from the moment we moved
Okay.
in.
Mm.
Like I sensed there was like a little child hiding in fear when we first went for the inspection. And because I suppose, there's this evil thing out there, people are always constantly coming and going. And yeah, but I knew that I'd moved her on. But my ex kept buying porcelain dolls, because that's when she found out that I was scared of them when we were living in that house. Bought this one porcelain doll, and because she used to try and throw them at me, because I, matrix style out of the way of them. She threw this one doll that she just bought at an op shop, and like the hair fell off and everything, and it hits the ground and it shatters and it's full of ashes.
What? Holy
Yeah.
mother of fuckballs. Okay. Yeah, well, hence why dolls come pretty freaking full on. What was in the back right corner of the property?
So
In the backyard.
okay, back right corner. It wasn't quite the back, but there was this really overgrown like greenhouse thing. So it might have been a like a carport, but it had been completely taken back by nature, and it was always dark. It didn't matter how bright it was always dark around that area. Like it was
Whatever it
always,
was living in that. That's where it was.
yeah.
That's
But
probably why I couldn't come in properly. Probably why the kid was scared inside because it knew what was out. I keep getting back right. And was there a tree at the back too?
oh yeah, like
Yeah.
there were all these little thin trees, like a little bit of a thin forest of like, because essentially it was all walnuts, but because the possums always got to them, and of course they were picking things off, throwing, they just sort of just kept sprouting up everywhere. But it's, from memory, it's not there because the land was subdivided, and that side of the house, that part of the land has now got a massive house on it.
Have fun living there.
Yeah,
There's something about that. I reckon there's something about that shed and that the trees that are there. There's something about that because that's what I think. Wow, that brings us to the end of episode 55 and part 2 of the Pure Feyness, my Campfire Tales episode with my dear friend Phoebe. I really hope you guys have been enjoying her amazing true paranormal experiences. As I said, she was my first friend that I ever really connected with regarding the paranormal, so it's really important for me. And she's also helped me out, as I said, a lot with my Aussie Afterlife podcast, so it means the world to me. So she's incredibly special and she's an amazing human being. So I really thank her for her time and her sharing very personal stories, especially about her family. And I love the fact that I was actually able to connect with her grandparents and things. So it was really a beautiful experience for myself as well. There will be a part 3. So hold tight. But yes, so please follow me everywhere, like everything, whatever. Do it if I don't know. You got to do it whatever you want, but like, please, it'll be like YouTube, Spotify, everywhere. Now Spotify is now hosting my podcast, which is awesome. And yeah, still developing my merch, which is great. And then like, look at this. I'm on my phone. It's a bit weird, but like character Samio. But yeah, Des me, Des go, says Aradale. So yeah, it's cool. So thank you, Phoebe, for helping me out with all that too. I love it. So I'm now an actual character, which is perfect. But yeah, stay tuned for part 3. I can't wait to bring it to you. And yeah, feel free to hit me up, have a chat with me. I'm available via email, AussieAfterlife@outlook.com. I just had like literally a brain fade. Or via my Spotify. Yes, you can text me via Spotify and also via Instagram. Oh my God. Okay, I also think I'm having a mental... Anywho. I hope you guys have a really safe week and I hope you enjoyed the episode. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.